Here's my favorite game demos I played for PAX East, but not all of them were released for PAX East, but now PAX East is really over, but also I kept playing demos, but also... Here we go, a roguelike deck builder. Outside of the slightly creepy art style that originally put me off from the game, this one became one of my favorites. The big twist in this game is that you're actually building two decks. One to interact with the world as you go around, and the second is your combat deck. The only critique I'd have of this game is that it seems a little too easy to get pretty strong. I think out of the like 5 runs I played, I only lost one of them, and I was actively trying out different deck styles. On the contrary, this does mean that the current game demo is healthy, and that no matter what style of gameplay you prefer, you're going to be able to make it all the way to the end if you make the right decisions. If you like games like Slay the Spire or Diceomancer, you're going to like Shroom and Gloom. I'm curious to see what the Ascension system ends up looking like, as I'm sure that'll make the game much more challenging. But overall, this was one of the game demos that I have the most playtime in, and it got me quite excited to continue playing and seeing what else the game has to offer. I really hope that this demo merely scratches the surface of the true amount of content this game has. A cute packing game, but you also go run around and run your business. At first you may think that you're just an employee at a shipment company, but having to buy your own supplies, as well as getting what seems to be commission for each package that you ship, it seems much more likely that you're running the business. While the demo is just a small introduction to the gameplay loop, it seems that there are plans to add a lot of content. So for those of you that enjoy little packing games, or games similar to A Little to the Left, you may want to check this game out. The art style is also really cutesy. I enjoy looking at it. They've actually updated the game demo to include a little bit more content, so it's definitely safe to assume that a significant amount of content is on its way. While I don't really understand how we get paid or how our job works, I'm ready to ship stuff off. Just like the last one, this game looks amazing as well, but with a different art style. Neon Inferno is an arcade-style game that's designed to make you feel and look super cool. Not only are you running and gunning, but you also have the chance to reflect bullets in any direction you want while playing the game, which makes for a pretty cool mechanic where you make the enemies shoot each other. From the looks of the store page, it seems that they plan on adding more weapons and maybe power-ups compared to what the demo has to offer, but I'm quite satisfied with the amount of difficulty and the amount of content that the demos provided. While I may chalk my failed runs up to just not being the best at arcade-style run and guns, I personally think the game has a nice difficulty. The boss fights look to be unique, and it definitely gives the vibes that you're playing at an arcade. Okay, the store page kind of looks like it's a mobile game, and I could also definitely see this game being a mobile game, but it's not a bad mobile game. It's a good one. There seems to be a lot of content that I haven't unlocked even in the demo, and believe me, I have played the demo. The crafting system almost gave me a Terraria kind of vibe, and each upgrade seems pretty influential to your build. I like that there's a lot of build variety, and potential to come up with unique builds relatively easily. I will say that what you're seeing on screen is my one-button meteor build. I just kinda hold the button, and thankfully, everything explodes. Once I increase the difficulty, I do have to move around and dodge more, but mostly I'm stuck to the one skill because I haven't put any points in any of the other ones. Anyways, there's also class variety, and I'm not sure if people are breaking the game, but the leaderboards hold a nice variety of characters and classes, so it seems to me that all of the characters and classes are good and viable in their own way. This game definitely reminds me of a numbers go up game or a incremental game, but I'm perfectly fine seeing my number go up. Ever been called swift? Well, if you haven't, now you can be. When you play HASTE, This game's all about going fast and pulling off some sick moves. It reminds me of a 3D Sonic game, but better. While it may not look like I have control of my movement, I promise I do. I just hate slowing down and making wide turns. While I can't say that this game is a roguelike, as I don't have the full version as of writing this script, I guess the most appropriate term would be dungeon crawler. You have to make your way up the dungeon, through challenges, shops, and mystery events in order to reach the final boss. And let me tell you, I wasn't really expecting this game to have a boss fight. There's no real attacks, and I was wondering what it was, but having played it, I am quite impressed. They have potential to create unique boss fights, and I'm very excited to see what they cook up. This game is pretty well made, and I think it has really good visual clarity for running at Mach 100 through some of these environments. Not to mention, I'd just keep playing to get that dopamine hit when I get an S. Mwah. This game and Shroom and Gloom are the two that I'm most excited about. And as this video comes out, Nine Kings is already out and popular. But you guys have to believe me, I played the demo before I knew it would be popular. Nine Kings is a game where you make a little kingdom and fight waves of enemies. Depending on which king you pick and which kings you're against, the draft pool changes and different cards appear. Making an Exodia build is where a lot of the fun for me comes in. The lower levels are definitely easy, peasant difficulties for peasants, but the harder difficulties are providing a nice challenge. The harder difficulties are definitely challenging, but not necessarily in a good way. I feel like whether or not I win or lose a hard difficulty can be out of my control sometimes. But I'm sure that might be because I'm newer to the game and I can't see all the win cons yet. But it does seem like there's an Exodia build with every king, which again is a sign of healthy game balance. There's this life system that they have, but bear in mind it doesn't matter when it comes to defending the final attack. But overall, this game's fun, and I'm excited to see what new content they add to the game. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found a game you might just want to play. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, citizens.